Welcome to Market Access Today. Please get ready to be captivated by exploring insights and exploring new frontiers. At today's Industrial Talks, Alex Zabgorodny will be with me. Welcome, Alex. He is
Thank
the
you. Thank you
vice
for hosting me.
Sure. He is the vice president of IT consulting at Healthware Tech and the founder of Unixoft. He's been focusing on end-to-end software development, empowering pharmaceutical, healthcare, and fintech businesses with sustainable innovation. Today, we are happy to have him with us to discuss the future of healthcare innovation, particularly with the role of software development. So let's begin. Let's begin by learning about your background and how you became involved in market access.
Sure. Thank you very much for kind introduction. My background, as you already announced, is solely in technology and software engineering. So I'm in this industry for more than 20 years, starting early before artificial intelligence became mainstream. And for the whole technology journey, helping businesses in various industries with their digital transformation needs. Healthware Tech is, from technology standpoint, focused on data solutions, predictive modeling, and AI automation. And I and my company became involved in market access industry due to emergent trends in the industry demanding organizations to learn how to efficiently work with ever-growing amounts of data due to shift of focus in the industry on more real-world evidence and evidence-based market access. And that actually that focus led me to my company to pretty much solely focus on market access as a primary target industry due to the growing demand in the digital transformation services. And over the past several years, we helped dozens of our clients achieve 30 to 60% increase of operation efficiency by creating AI-driven tools to manage regulatory submissions, HTA, dossier preparation, evidence synthesis for different markets, etc., etc. So variety of the solutions, variety of the needs in this transforming industry, and ever-increasing value we can bring as the process goes.
Thank you, Alex. I would also love to hear your perspective on what you see as the key trends shaping market access strategies globally, particularly in the regions with complex regulatory environments.
Yeah, of course. Very good question. I see, of course, market access industry through my professional deformation through the prism of digitization and information technology, and the overall needs for digitization services. And this phenomenon, I think, is the result of mainly three emerging industry trends in this industry. And one of the biggest ones is rising focus on health economics and outcome research, demanding market access companies to plan ahead, basically the data strategy for the product-based support in order to later down the road support value demonstration, obtain and efficiently deal with large amounts of localized data, which can be especially overwhelming for global launches in multiple countries. And deal with the increasing amount of data sources where the data can be obtained from, like wearables, EMR systems, claims data, etc. And right now I see that the industry overall is investing in platforms that unify disparate data streams for seamless analysis, and industry is investing heavily in the tools which can support this kind of data-driven market access. So that's number one. This rising focus on the outcomes research. Second one, I guess, it's also the tendency to shift towards value-based healthcare models, which also quite data demanding because value needs to be proven, and it's all about numbers, metrics, and analysis of the data. And this stands once again, it's metrics and evidence focused, and it's also contributes to transforming the market access departments and companies into more of the data companies. So the blend, the line between technology companies and market access companies are becoming blurry and blurrier over time. And overall, the, regulatory processes and health technology assessment not getting simpler. They are all, the complexity of these assessments are only growing with the time, and that affects industry heavily in two ways. Uh, first effect it has on the industry is that it leads to, again, increased demand for digitization. So regulatory bodies themselves, they are increasingly adopting digital platforms for their own needs, for submissions, review, and for encouraging companies to do the same, to be digitally integrated with the regulatory bodies. And the overall growing complexity of HTA submissions actually kind of forces companies to seek AI-driven tools or software-driven tools to efficiently manage their market access process, from evidence synthesis to value dossier creation and kind of maintenance of these dossiers with regular gap analysis with ever-changing landscape. And without any digital support, it becomes simply too cumbersome and too labor-intensive to do that old way, I would say. The second way this growing complexity is affecting the industry is by increasing demand for advanced analytics and modeling. So overall cost and complexity of the regulatory landscape increases demand for various modeling and kind of modeling and simulation scenarios to assess HTA thresholds, to compare reimbursement outcomes across markets, and simulate scenarios for pricing and market entry before actually committing to expensive and lengthy process. And companies try to avoid trial and error because error is very costly, and try to simulate before going and get so to say the simulated approval, so to say, or simulated validation of the market hypothesis. And second, another aspect is basically the advanced analytics supports bridging the gap between regulatory approval data and the evidence required for the reimbursements, such as real world evidence, cost effectiveness, et cetera. And due to, again, large amount of data, it's no longer possible to produce this evidence in the spreadsheets and in the old ways. The more sophisticated tools are required to support that. So bottom line, I would say three main trends which are significantly shifting how industry looks like and how people in the industry work towards more digitally enabled market access is focus on the HERO, health economics, outcome research, value-based healthcare models, and overall growing complexity, which kind of demands the digital support.
Thank you, Alex. In fact, you almost covered the question that I will be asking right now, but I would like to be asking my question anyways, just in case there is something you would like to add, because I will be asking, how do you think data-driven decision-making transforms market access strategies? And how does technology simplify market entry and reimbursement processes?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's indeed an extension of the previous question, which I partly covered, but it's an opportunity for me to dive deeper in actually the data aspect of the whole transformation. Yes, which is actually very important. So data-driven decision making is indeed changing the landscape a lot. On one hand, it's enabling more precise, efficient, and outcome-oriented approaches for navigating the complexity of market entry and reimbursement. So basically adding more, I would say, aiming at less biased decisions and aiming at more data-driven, strict criteria for certain decisions, which is a good thing because it actually clears significantly, makes the rules of the game significantly more clear and transparent and equal for everyone. And actually, but on the other hand, it increases demand for the technology to support that because the amounts of data required to produce that data-driven decision making are constantly growing, and the techniques to analyze the data are also getting more and more complex. So technology here actually serves as the fundamental or backbone of this transformation, providing tools which make possible, first of all, to make the decision making taking into account multiple parameters and a lot of data, and also streamline the whole process, enhance communication, generate actually actionable insights, and automate a lot of that. So I would say, again, the key changes in the industry which are triggered by this data-driven decision-making trend is actually data-driven evidence in market access decisions is kind of becoming a new normal, and requirements for robustness of the evidence and underlying data are growing every year, increasing the demand for more complex and sophisticated tools to analyze that and produce that evidence. And overall, due to kind of, when certain industry gets the taste of digitization and all the efficiency benefits coming from it, then it becomes like, again, it imposes the new standards and subsequently new stakeholder expectations about the benchmarks of the timeline it takes for the market success strategy planning and execution to take, and for the benchmark costs of certain projects. And everything right now is shifting, as I can notice, towards faster and cheaper. And the technology becomes the enabler of that faster and cheaper due to competition and global economic conditions. Faster and cheaper is now important, and technology directly contributes to it, allowing to automate certain processes, allowing to streamline the processing of the data and deriving insights out of the data. So technology directly supports these changes. Yes, for the data-driven evidence trends, technology is central to basically enabling data-driven market access strategy. Obviously, once amount of data you need to grows, you need to work with growth. Nowadays, the need for sophisticated tool grows, and nowadays the companies which invest in robust data analytics and digital tools position themselves better to navigate the increasing complexity in the future. Yes, regarding faster and cheaper, some of the examples which directly contribute to that is creating the tailored HTA dossiers and actually workflow automation. So right now the dossiers could be basically the work of pretty much every professional in the industry with a current level of advancement of the AI technology can be significantly augmented by the AI tools, efficiently reducing time and cost to produce certain artifacts, certain documents, certain reports from up to 60%, which actually is a direct contributor to setting new standards of efficiency among the competitors on the market, and soon to become a new normal in terms of how much certain work should take in terms of time and how much certain work should cost.
Thank you, Alex. Before we wrap up, I would love to ask your thoughts on what innovations or disruptions you expect to influence market access in the next 5-10 years.
Okay, yeah, I think the market access is somehow repeating the path of other industries which already a little bit further away in terms of the digitization and involvement of the data in the decision making. I think one of the early starters were industries like retail, so just common companies like Nike, McDonald's, etc. And what I see is that in early 2020s there was a kind of popular slogan in these industries when they started. So companies like Nike and McDonald's started hiring new CEOs from the technology background, which never happened in the industry, and that led to popular saying that these days every company is a data company. So talking about the 5 to 10 years horizon, I think we can safely say that maybe in about 10 years, every market access company will be a data company, because we are experiencing like a data snowball effect. Increasing amount of data actually already being used in evidence generation leads to kind of wider adoption of digital tools. And these digital tools, once they adopted, they allow to gather even more data, which leads to increasing need to more sophisticated tools to process the data, which leads to even more increased level of digital adoption, allowing to gather even more data. So with the rising of trends in telemedicine, personalized medicine, and precision medicine, and overall digital health, that opens much more channels to gathering much more data. And I think, and actually, these days, organizations find themselves spending more and more time working with the data rather than doing whatever they have done before. And I think this trend will only continue. And like I said, it's all very similar to the snowball effect, where the further we go, the bigger snowball gets. And I would say that would be number one. Every market access company will become a data company. And I believe that it's not only about market access industry, in every industry, but specifically in market access as well. Every professional will become AI augmented professional, because I think the proficiency in using AI tools and efficiently communicating with various large language models, delegating certain tasks to large language models or to AI in general will become like a requirement which goes without saying. Same as right now, if you hire an employee, you expect the person to know how to use browser, know how to use Word, Excel, and like virtual meeting rooms. So that goes without saying. I think in 10 years, the same will apply to AI. So I would see these are overall trends, and they are not omitting bypassing the market access industry as well.
Absolutely, I cannot agree more. Thank you very much for sharing those insights. We will definitely keep them in mind. That brings us to the conclusion of our interview today. It has been a true pleasure having you with us. Thank you once again for your valuable perspective on market access and AI. I'm sure our listeners will gain a lot of from your expertise. We look forward to having you back on the show in the future to explore the innovative solutions you have developed. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, take care and stay curious.
Thank you for hosting me. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.